All right, so we're going to do some more number line questions from the 2024 SHSAT Handbook. We're doing Form B, and we're going to do questions 89 and 90, I think it is. Let's jump into it. Yeah. Let me get this set up right. Okay, there we go. All right, so on the number line above, how many units longer is QR, which is this guy here, than PQ? All right, so let's blow this up slightly because that's 1 and 1/6. So we're going to make this 1 and 2/6 so we can get the subtraction nice with the same denominator. All right. So what we need to do is figure out this length here. Let's call this X, and this length here Y, and then subtract them. Okay. So let's just make sure on the number line about how many units long as QR, then PQ. All right. So basically we're going to have 5 and 1/6 minus 3. So that's going to give us 2 and 1/6. Okay, and that's going to be QR. That's going to be QR. So now we need to figure out PQ. Okay, PQ is going to be 3 minus 1 and 2/6. All right, so we can do borrowing and all this stuff, but this is easy enough to do in your head. We get 1 and 4/6. All right, so this is going to be PQ. All right, you can double check that, right? 1 and 4/6 plus 1 and 2/6 gives 2 and 6/6, which is 3. On the other one, we have 3 plus 2 and 1/6 gives 5 and 1/6. Woo, right? Big deal. So how many units longer? So now what they're asking us basically to do is to subtract these two numbers. Okay, so if I take 2 and 1/6, I'm going to subtract from that 1 and 4/6. Okay, again, you might be able to do this in your head. It's not catastrophic. But let's just do a borrow. If we borrow from here, we take 1. That means we're going to add 6/6 to this. So that would give us 1 and 7/6 minus 1 and 4/6. Okay, when we do the subtraction, the whole number kicks out and we end up with 3/6. And 3/6 simplifies to 1/2. So our answer there would be B. All right, that was question number 89 is supposed to be B. Okay, 90 is a little more tricky. It might be the trickiest of them all. Let's try to get this to fit. So it says the distance from W to X is 70% of the distance between W to Y. So one way to look at this is that this is 100%. Okay, and if the distance between W to X is 70%, then there's an implication that the distance from X to Y then is 30%. Right? This information they don't give you, we often need to compute ourselves. Okay, and these are all percents. They're not lengths. We don't know the lengths. So we're up to here. So it says if the distance from X to Y, that's over here, is 15 miles. What is the distance in miles from W to X? That's going to be the distance here. That's what we're trying to find out. Well, it seems to me we have our proportion set up. So we're going to end up having 70 is to the question mark. So let's just call that D for the distance we're looking for. Okay, and that's going to be equal to 30 is to 15. So we set up the ratios, and from that we get a proportion. So we have percent to the distance, right? 30 is percent, and the 15 at the denominator is the distance that they gave us that we know, the 15 miles here. So we're going to compute that. We can do the cross product. We can also notice that the denominator is half the size. Therefore, the answer has to be 35. All right, which means if that's going to be 35. All right, which means 35 to 15, right, if we write it as a ratio or as a fraction, right, isn't that 70% to 30%? Yeah, seems to be, right? All right, so that's really all they're looking for there. It's more tricky coming up with the right number there is you have to use kind of weird logic that you're not used to having. They gave you the 70%. It's not always obvious that the 30% is there and that you still need to do that. All right, let's try to just keep cranking some of these out. All right, guys. I don't know if I can do any more today because I have some sessions, but I might do some later tonight. And then, of course, as always, tomorrow. All right, peace.